Hi and a huge welcome to Steve's Kitchen. If you love fudge, you're in for a treat today because I'm making the king of fudge, the queen of fudge, the royal family of fudge. I'm talking about clotted cream fudge. Now, if you've ever been to Devon and you've had Devonshire clotted cream fudge, you know it's the best in the world. And this clotted cream I made the other day on my channel. So if you want to know how to make clotted cream, you can get across homemade clotted cream. It's going to be wonderful. So let me show you now how we're going to make this Devonshire clotted cream fudge. Okay, before we start preparing our fudge, I just want to take an 8-inch baking tray like this, and we're just going to line it with some greaseproof paper or baking paper, and I'll put 2 strips in so that it goes up the side, and it'll make the fudge a lot easier for us to get out once it's set. Now the ingredients are very simple, so I'll go through them with you now. There's 275 grams, that's 10 ounces of Castor sugar, that's superfine sugar. We've got 225 grams, that's 8 ounces of that beautiful clotted cream. We've got 100 grams, that's 4 ounces of golden syrup. Now you could use maple syrup, I wouldn't recommend using honey. And I've got half a teaspoon of vanilla extract just for a little extra flavour. So let's take the ingredients and make clotted cream fudge. Now I've put all my ingredients into a heavy bottom saucepan and I'm just going to heat them gently until the sugar and everything has dissolved. And you do want to be stirring this constantly, we don't want the sugar to burn. So continue to stir this until the sugar has completely dissolved. We don't want it to burn and we want to bring this up to a rolling boil. One thing you are going to need ideally would be a thermometer. It's not essential, but I tend to, when I'm making fudge, like to get the temperatures exact. So now the sugars have completely dissolved in the liquid, we want to continue to boil this for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. We're looking to bring it up to a temperature of 116 degrees Celsius, 240 degrees Fahrenheit. And that is soft boil for sugar, so we get that lovely soft fudge. Now do expect this to bubble like this and just keep stirring, knocking the bubbles down. You can lift the pan up a little bit if you've got to adjust the heat. And I'm going to be using a thermometer, a little probe in here just to test the temperature. And as I said, I want to bring that up to 116 degrees Celsius or 240 Fahrenheit. Not quite there yet. And the smell coming off here now is absolutely delicious. We're getting very close now, maybe another 3 or 4 minutes. Okay guys, I think it's getting very close to it now. Let's just take that temperature again. Yeah, that's 115, just coming up to 116. I'm going to start to take that off the heat now. Okay, so I'm just going to put that down on a cool surface, let the temperature come down a little bit, just for maybe a minute or so. So you can see now our fudge mixture has stopped boiling, and now what we want to do is continue just to stir this through for about 10 minutes. We're agitating it, so we're cooling it down. And as you stir it, and as it cools, little crystals will form, and we start to get our fudge. So about maybe 5 to 10 minutes, guys. Now I'll just show you here, I'm pulling the fudge up and letting it drop in. It's helping it cool down. Now some people, they'll put this into a sort of ice bath to help it cool down, but I think it's best to do it, you know, slowly. You get a better structure to the fudge, and plus you'll burn off a few calories, and then it won't be so bad when you're eating the fudge. Now you see now it starts to go from a very glossy texture to a slightly matte. It's not all the way ready yet, but it is getting stiffer, and I can start to see some of the shine coming off of the fudge now. So it's really this last little bit of work that really makes it all worthwhile. It adds the texture to the fudge, makes the difference between just being like a toffee and a beautiful light and soft fudge. It really starts to get very stiff. It will take quite some effort to stir it, but you can start to see it's almost becoming like a light peanut butter. Now you can see the fudge is getting very hard to mix now, and it's great if you've got someone you can share this little chore with, but I think that's just about ready now. And we're going to pour this out now into our lined tray. And then when all your fudge is in the tray, we're just going to, really you've got to pat it and push it into place. And you can tell that this fudge was ready because it is really thick already and it's hard to get it to flatten out. And that's the way fudge should be when you're putting it into a tray. So when you've got your fudge as flat as you possibly can, we just leave it on the side a minute or two more just to let it flatten out, and then I'm going to pop this in the fridge to completely cool down. Now look, my fudge is out of the fridge now, and you're going to be wondering why it doesn't look the same. Well, I'll tell you why. I like my fudge thick. So what I actually did, and I didn't film this, I used this side of the paper and I pulled my fudge and folded it over to double the thickness. Now, if you like thick fudge, it's a great trick for getting it really thick at the end there. I do, so I did. But now it's going to be really very easy using the paper to just pull this fudge out. We can unwrap, it doesn't stick, and look at that, guys. It's absolutely delicious. I'm going to just prepare this. Now when you look at that, it's absolutely gorgeous. If you like fudge and you could smell what I'm smelling now, you'd be hitting that thumbs up button down there, because this, I mean, just look how soft and gentle. I'll just cut that through now. Look at that. That is just heaven, guys. The idea now would be, some people might score it. You don't have to be particular about how you cut it. We're just going to cut it into strips like this, and then we would take the fudge itself and cut it into squares, manageable squares, probably about that big. As a rule, it's a slightly off square, but that's exactly what fudge should look like. If you've ever had really good fudge before, the smell that I'm getting now you'll recognize. Now, if you're giving the fudge away as a present, and what a great present this makes, you could take a little bit of melted chocolate in an icing bag and just sort of put a little design over the top of the fudge. I mean, that always looks great. I myself like the naked fudge as it is, but this is great if you're just doing a little package to give away for a Christmas present or birthday present. So let me give this a try now, guys. The smell is just fantastic. You could wear that as an aftershave. God, that's just so nice. Guys, if you love fudge, I know even before I've tasted this, this is going to be great. Let me give it a try. Gosh, that takes me back. It's been such a long time since I've had clotted cream fudge. It's not gritty, it's soft. You can, when we were kids, we used to squeeze it almost like plasticine and shape it, and pull it up into shapes and then eat it. This is just great. I hope you try the clotted cream. I hope you try this clotted cream fudge. It just is great. Take care, guys. Give me the thumbs up down below if you've enjoyed the video. I will see you in the next video. Be good. Thank you for joining me again in Steve's Kitchen. I'll leave a couple of links to some videos here in the subscription button, and I do love to hear from you guys, so please, comments down below. Be good, and I will see you very shortly. Take care.